Hey guys, this is Jonathan. When I call it attraction, I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you understand attraction. So today, we're going to talk about masculine energy and feminine energy. And so, masculine and feminine energy. Now, men are innately masculine. This is just the nature of man, how God created them, and obviously based off of the belief that God created man. Now I don't want to debate with anybody. People believe that all this other stuff created humans. I don't monkeys and evolution, all this kind of stuff. But apart from any of that, with the belief system that the holy God of the Bible created all men, all things, man was created with masculine energy and women created with feminine energy. And that is their natural essence for each of them. And the perfect balance for them is that they are the most what's the word I'm looking for? They are the most fruitful when they are in their natural essence. You get the most out of them. You get the best results from them when they are in their natural essence. So and men and women, they are like magnets. I talk about this in my book. You know how the magnets are, they naturally attract, but this is the opposite energy. That's what masculine is to feminine. It's the opposite energy, but they're the perfect fit. The man is the perfect fit with the woman, even though he's the opposite. They're a perfect fit for each other. The man being the giver, the woman being the receiver. When you have these two magnets, when they're opposite energies, they attract right away, just like that. But what happens is, if you flip one magnet around, then it becomes the same energy as the other magnet. So you know how one side is positive, the other side is negative. Well, if you got one magnet and it's on the positive side and the other magnet on the negative side, and you flip that over to the positive side, now they're both the same energy, positive, positive. When that happens and you try to put them together, you try to get them close, they will repel. They will repel each other. And this symbolizes man and women in the same way, how masculine and feminine energy naturally attracts each other. Just like that. Just a perfect fit naturally, all by itself. But once, for example, the man who is naturally masculine becomes more feminine, like the woman is feminine, they repel. And the repel is they won't be able to get close. No matter how hard you try to put them close together and get them close, they repel each other. They want nothing to do with each other. And it's the same thing in a relationship where the man becomes feminine and the woman is naturally feminine. Now, they argue and fight and scuffle and they repel each other. They can't get close to save their lives. And that's exactly what happens. Same thing with magnets. And so this is a representation of the masculine and feminine energy. Now, this is our natural essence. And it's not just man and woman. It's also with those who consider themselves to be homosexual. So two males who consider themselves to be in a relationship or marriage, whatever the case may be. Even in that dynamic, there's someone chasing and there's someone leading. There's someone submissive and there's someone dominant. There's someone masculine and there's someone feminine. Usually, the masculine one is the one who's leading. Usually that's the leader. The feminine one is usually the one that's chasing. And it's like this in every other area. You know, man and women, man and man, women and women, same thing. And so this energy exists in every form of what humans would consider a relationship today, you know. So there's no different. Even if you become homosexual, both of you won't be dominant and masculine, and you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be someone who's being led, and there's gonna be someone who's leading. And that's always the case, you know, because dominant and dominant repels each other. Feminine and feminine repels each other, you know, so that it has to be the perfect opposite in order to function properly within the human essence. Okay? Same thing with a woman and a woman. And this is actually more clear to see because the woman that is more dominant, now this isn't all the time, but most of the time, if we're being honest, the woman that is more dominant is more of what you call a stud. She's more of the kind of woman that looks like a man, dresses and looks like the guy and acts like the guy. She's that kind of woman, and she's dominant, and she's, you know, masculine in her traits. And then you have the feminine one who just, you know, looks like a normal woman, feminine woman. So, but there, you won't catch two studs together trying to be together, you know, in love. It won't happen. You won't see that. You know, there's gonna be, if there's a stud which is, you know, predominantly dominant and masculine, you're gonna see the opposite, which is the feminine, you know, and that's how it works. And so naturally men are masculine, naturally women are feminine. This is our natural essence. And if that ever changes, you know, if the man, and well, they do fluctuate, so that's what will cause it to change. Where the problem comes to play is when the man who is naturally masculine, he starts becoming feminine in his characteristics and in his trait, you know, in his traits. So that's where the problem comes to play. You know, let's say he's not motivated. He starts becoming really bitchy or complaining a lot, you know, or just very sensitive, very emotional. These are like feminine traits. So when he starts to come more and more like this, and he's not taking the lead, he's not initiating, he stops initiating, he stops taking charge, he's indecisive. When he starts to become more and more like this consistently, and I don't mean just like sporadically, but more on a consistent basis where you notice he's acting this way, this is what causes the problems in the relationships. This is what will cause the woman to get to start nagging. This is what will cause her to you know, go off. This is what will cause her to argue and fight with you, because you're not acting like a man, but you're acting like a woman. You're acting more like her, and that repels her, you know, and so it's going to be hard to get close, you know, and this is how masculine and feminine energy works, and that's where the problem comes to play. And you have the same dynamic with women, where women become more masculine, but usually the crazy part is, it's not just like women become masculine, you know, like man, a lot of it is just been programmed in us. But with women, it's kind of different, because with women, it's like usually they become masculine because the male was feminine. At some point, the male turns feminine, and it causes the woman to go into her masculine because he's feminine. So when he usurps that feminine energy, it's like a surge of energy, and basically it leaves only the masculine energy to left there to be, stepped into. And so it's like the woman steps into her masculine because it's like that's all that's left. How could she step into her feminine when he already took that position? And usually that's what happens. A woman will become masculine, but that's because the man is already become feminine, and it's like there's nothing left to be. But women are most comfortable in their natural essence, which is in their femininity. That's where they're most naturally comfortable, and that's where you can get the best results out of them in life, is when they're in their feminine energy. But like when they're in their masculine energy, it's hell to pay, And this is a lot of women that's like have their own careers, and and growing up, maybe they didn't have a father in the house, and maybe they something of that nature, didn't have any male role models, and they had to step into the masculine energy because there was either men around that were just simply feminine or just not present at all, causing them to by default go into their masculine. And it's all about their career, it's all about that. And so you get these alpha females who they are like sharks, they are women tycoons, and they control these companies and businesses, and they've literally become kind of like feminists, man-hating feminists who like they step on man, and they love to ridicule man and belittle them, and this is very toxic behavior, but this is how they developed. And so you got many women who are in their masculine to the extreme, and that's pretty much the extreme. And I mean, on the other end, you got males that's like this, but you more see this with the women that's like really masculine, and they got these businesses and these companies and CEOs and all of this kind of stuff, and when really that was never that's more of a masculine trait, to be goal oriented and focused on purpose, focused on mission. And that's what these women are. They're just focused on work and mission, and and that's really more of a masculine trait, to be focused on those things. But some women took over those different characteristics. And once that happens, it causes the dynamic of the relationship to dissipate. It causes the sexual dynamic of the relationship to dissipate, And so it causes less of sexual attraction, It causes you to be repelled into, not want to have sex, or not want to be cuddled, or not want to be held. And it's just like it's a terrible thing. But so that's the underlining logistics of masculine and feminine energy with men and women, and once they are transferred in the effects of it, so be encouraged. If you like the content in this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And remember, love inspires, endures, uplifts, and bears all things.